Lots happening right now in our region.
Perch patterns have been working really well.
The bite has been good.
Just keep snapping it off the bottom.
The down imaging, the side imaging. There's a lot of different variations and different ways to rig this.
Oh, yeah! Look at this giant.
They are heavy.
Oh, look at that.
On this week's show, we're talking about how angling is changing. This is AnglingBuzz TV. I'm Troy Lindner.
And I'm Al Lindner.
You know, in my lifetime, a little bit younger than you, I've seen some pretty big advancements, not only like in fishing line, but I remember the very first GPS unit. We were fishing a Rainy Lake up there. It was a black and white pixelated screen, but it was so cool. You could actually follow the boat up through there. And compared to what we have nowadays with down imaging, side imaging, GPS, for example, it's just incredible what's happened over the past few decades.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to make my living in this industry my entire life. That's all I do is fish and talk about fishing, view fishing, teach people how to catch fish. And after a lifetime in this business, I've seen a lot of things come and go. And I've seen qualities of different kinds of fisheries rise and then crash. And I can tell you in the past number of years, particularly the past 10 years, so many good things have happened. Fishing today is better than it's ever been for a lot of species of fish for a lot of different reasons. If they're managed, resources managed right, we have catch and release knowledgeable anglers. The impact that we have in equipment today is mind-boggling. Rods, reels, lures, brand new fishing lines continue to come on the scene. Boats, motors, electronics, trolling motors, you name it. Social media, huge impact on our sport. Today is truly the best fishing time ever in this sport. Your experience, the good old days are now, they're today. They weren't 15, 20, 25 years ago. It's happening now.
Yeah, it is an absolute exciting time to be a fisherman and catch fish right now. And let's take a closer look at how angling is changing.
Oh, here's the right stuff.
Today, technology and information develop and travel at blistering speeds. This isn't just good for the Geek Squad, it's awesome for anglers too. A space race between equipment manufacturers has given anglers the tools to find and catch fish faster than ever before.
Oh, that.
High-definition maps, side imaging, supercharged outboards, intelligent trolling motors, underwater cameras like the AquaView, high-performance superlines, carbon fiber reels, and technique-specific rods have upped the odds for anglers across the globe.
Then of course there's the lures. Oh yeah, the lures. Today, for every conceivable fishing application, there's a tool for your tackle box. The design, finish, and action and application have been spared no detail. And for the cherry on top, much of today's technology has become affordable. Cutting-edge innovations don't take long to trickle down to reasonable price points, especially great for those on a budget and for the explosion of young bass anglers. Thanks to technology and the limitless supply of fishing knowledge online, new anglers are busting bass fishing's learning curve in record time. In the big picture, many of our fisheries are getting better as well. Improved fisheries management practices, slot limits, stocking, and angler ethics are all leading to the quality fishing we have today. The technology, resources, and equipment and information is the best it's ever been, and so are today's anglers.
You know, there's been an increase in angler license sales across the nation. What do you feel are maybe one or two things as to why this is happening?
That's really easy, Troy. The interest in high school fishing leagues has spread all over this country and Canada. The interest by young people in the sport of fishing is just skyrocketing. This is definitely impact this sport in a positive way. I've never seen anything like this. Also, the female angler. More women are getting involved in a sport than I've ever seen. There's a real spike of activity in both these areas, and it's good for our sport and good for everybody involved in it. It's fun.
Yeah, everybody wins in this, and I think this is a trend that we'll be seeing for many, many years. After this short commercial break, we have our Highlight Destination feature, as well as the first of our Buzz Bite reports as Angling Buzz continues.
Some lodges are just a cut above. Hawk Lake is one of those. They're the only Orvis-endorsed lodge in all of Ontario, and they're the 4-time finalists for the best Orvis lodge in all of North America. They feature cordon bleu trained chefs and offer some of the best freshwater fishing in the world. You can target trophy walleye, smallmouth bass, pike and lake trout on any of their 19 private lakes. Whether you fish with traditional gear or love fly fishing, Hawk Lake has you covered.
You have a choice, turf or surf. It's fishing season. Welcome to the outdoors. We're baiting, casting, drifting, and limiting out. The outdoors never felt so good. Catch, release, and keepers. The outdoors never tasted so good. It's fishing season. We are outdoors. Mills Fleet Farm.
According to Minnesota's Department of Natural Resources, in 2017, 97% of boaters surveyed by watercraft inspectors followed Minnesota's clean, drain, dispose laws. Let's keep it this way. Clean aquatic plants and animals from boats, trailers, and equipment. Drain all water from watercraft, including the motor, and keep drain plugs out during transport. Dispose of unused bait properly. Together, we're preventing the spread of aquatic invasive species in Minnesota.
Lake Vermilion. Explore. Relax. Reconnect.
Minnesota's most beautiful lake.
Get hooked on our trophy walleye,
That's a beauty.
bass,
My favorite fish.
musky fish,
a beauty there.
Things to do? You'll never get bored.
Rooms with a view? We got 'em.
Lake Vermilion. 4 seasons of fun.
Welcome back to AnglingBuzz TV. We have our highlight destination feature coming up. We're going to Hawk Lake Lodge. Now this is an amazing place. It's an easy drive-to destination north of the Minnesota border. A lot of cool portage lakes that I like to fish for the smallmouth bass, walleye, and northern pike, but I know you go there for another reason.
I go there to catch the fish of a lifetime for me on a walleye. 2 years in a row, my biggest walleye came out of Hawk Lake. Also, if I'm in that part of the world, I never go by without giving Ted a call and say, it's around dinner time. You got an extra plate on the side. The food is unbelievable. I'll hang out overnight. They'll find a bed for us to sleep someplace, and I'll get a little walleye time in. Might go jerk a few smallmouths in it. It's one of my favorite destinations. It is a high-end experience. Hey, this is a class act from every element of what they have to offer. Class place to go.
Yes, it is. Ted and his staff make you feel at home and really take care of you. And the walleye fishing is incredible. Let's take a closer look right now at Hawk Lake Lodge. To catch trophy fish of any species, you have to go to the right water. Some lakes are just genetically engineered to grow monster fish, and others are numbers fisheries, kicking out 100-fish days. Hawk Lake Lodge in Ontario's Sunset Country is a premium outfitter, where you can truly have your cake and eat it too. They are not only known for trophy walleye, but feature a myriad of fish species, making it a luxury destination for any angler chasing just about any fish on traditional gear or fly fishing equipment. They are the only lodge in all of Ontario that is Orvis endorsed, and they are the 4-time finalists for the best Orvis lodge in all of North America. That is a bold statement. When you land on Ted's doorstep, you are treated like a king.
Hawk Lake Lodge is a drive-to resort, or a full American plan, very high-end. There's many of us for my staff as there are of you. We have private cabins on the water and wonderful gourmet meals. We have hot tubs and saunas and some of the best fishing in Canada. We have 4 different sport fishes here. A lot of people come for the trophy walleye, and that's a lot of fun. But we also have incredible bass fishing, great smallie fishing, lake trout early and late in the season, and pike pretty much whenever you want to catch them. So depending on what you want to catch and how you want to go after them, we can put you on a lake and you can have a ball doing it. Here at Hawk Lake, we have 18 different portage lakes, but the primary lake is Hawk Lake, which is about 2,600 acres, over 400 feet deep. It drains into Little Dogtooth, which then goes into Dogtooth and ends up in the Russian River. And as we all know, the Russian River really is an incredible watershed. It's excellent. It's an excellent fishery. One of the great benefits of having multiple portage lakes that we can get to is you could target different types of species. If you want to go lake trout fishing or maybe just trophy bass fishing, how about a numbers game where you catch a fish on every cast? So depending on what you want to target, you can go to a different lake every day. You're the only boat in the water, and you can go after a specific species of fish for your entire trip. It's really a lot of fun, and you can mix it up. At Hawk Lake Lodge, we don't have cooks. We actually have chefs. They're cordon bleu trained. They are excellent, and everything is made to your specific appetite, from homemade breads, soups, salads, to steaks, lobster tails, fresh seafood we bring in from all over the country. You'll be very well treated, and you will not go to bed hungry.
Staying at Hawk Lake Lodge is really a dream vacation. On any trip up here, you can catch world-class walleye, pound on the smallmouth, catch lake trout, pike, eat and sleep like a king. A portage trip is really the icing on the cake. It's like a vacation inside a vacation. And the sweet thing is, they have 17 more lakes just like it, waiting for avid fishermen to enjoy the trip of a lifetime.
Yes, the Rushing River water system produces some giant fish with Hawk Lake and Dogtooth Lake. Now, there's a magic number when it comes to catching big walleye.
When you're looking for trophy walleyes, the number is 30 inches. A lot of places you can get fish up to 28 inches, but when you get numbers of fish every year that are 30, 31, 32, 33, even nudging occasionally bigger than that, there isn't too many places on the continent this system that happens every year.
Yes, it's truly incredible. And now, talking about big fish, we're joining Nick Lindner with the first of our Buzz Bite reports.
First up, we're going to get a Leech Lake walleye report from Brian Brosdahl.
The mayflies have gone through, so the bite's starting to get hot. Bigger walleyes on the reefs and rocks. They're also catching walleyes in the deeper bays. What I've been using in 14 to 16 feet of water is the butterfly blade with a night crawler or leech, or you could even use a minnow on there with about a 1 to 2 ounce bottom bouncer depending on your speed. I'm using a 2 ounce. It's good for most situations. During the day, go a little deeper, 14 to 18 feet of water. When you're using the bottom bouncer, remember to bounce, don't drag the bottom bouncer, and then slip bobbers. I like to use a little jig on there. I've got a current cutter jig because that wire keeps the bait on when the perch attack. A little bigger bobber, swivel, and a bullet sinker so I can pitch it out on the rocks or through the weeds. The water is a little bit darker so the fish are not so spooky. You could rip puppet minnows, even use ripping shads. So try a little bit of everything and be diversified. Follow the wind, and if it blows it to a point, the fish will probably bite there.
Thanks, bro. Now don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we have more Buzz Bite reports to come as Angling Buzz continues.
Sportfish Michigan is your #1 source for top charter captains and fishing guides in Michigan. Our network of professionals are full-time anglers with years of experience providing customers with the best possible fishing trip services. Fish for trout, salmon, steelhead on Lake Michigan or its famous tributary rivers, the Traverse City area's world-class smallmouth bass, walleye fishing on the Detroit River and Saginaw Bay, or northern Michigan's spectacular ice fishing. We do it all. Sportfish Michigan. Get out. Get bit.
Explore Alexandria, Minnesota. Whether it's a long weekend or a week-long loaded with family fun, you'll find plenty of things to do in Alex. Unleash your inner explorer with over 300 lakes, beaches, parks, hundreds of miles of trails, dining, golf, shopping, museums, and history. Alexandria is Minnesota's hidden gem. Go to explorealex.com to find your vacation this season.
If you're looking at this, how do you know it's not this? If you see this, how do you know it's not actually this? Trust your AquaView and you'll see the real underwater world. AquaView leads by innovation. First in high definition, first in handheld viewing, the finest underwater optics, the brightest, sharpest screens, the original underwater camera, and the fish finder that puts you on the fish.
Welcome back to Angling Buzz. Now for our next report, we're gonna head up to Lake Vermilion where Billy Rosner is out guiding.
Bob just caught this nice walleye here. The whole key, we're fishing sandgrass, chara grass. Looks just like this. Wherever you find this, you're gonna find a bunch of perch. You're gonna find nice walleyes like this most of the time. Good job, Charlie. We're just fishing a half a crawler, basic Lindy rig. Nice fish, Charlie. It's all about the sandgrass to chara grass today. Just a beautiful morning, overcast. You can't beat these conditions for nice walleyes. Catching smallmouth bass too out on your humps, your reefs. Drop shotting's working really good for them. Fishing plastics, wacky style along the shorelines.
Thanks, Billy. Now for our next report, we're gonna head over to the Red River where Brad Durrick's been chasing some cats.
The spawn has been over for 2 to 3 weeks now. Water temperatures are a little warm at 80 to 82, but the fish got the feed bags on and they're willing to play. We have really good numbers going on. Big fish have been a little bit spotty, but just keep making your moves, putting in your time and putting fresh bait on. Speaking of bait, suckers have been really good in the morning, frozen goldeyes in the afternoon. There's lots of frogs starting to move around the area, so it's just a matter of time before frogs are going to be the bait of choice here on the Red River. As far as locations to be looking, what I've been finding is on a straightaway coming off of a bend, you want to be a little on the inside, a mid-river hole on the straightaway, but be on the inside so you got the sweeping current going out away from the fish. That seems to be holding the better fish. But don't forget to fish the faster water, especially during the morning and evening hours.
Thanks, Brad. Now for our next report, we're gonna head over to the Alexandria region of Minnesota with Joe Segura.
Still getting a good number of walleyes around the area, 18, 20-inch eater fish along with some overfish as well. Still can't beat a Leech and a Lindy rig right along the weeds, right in the low light time period. But when it's a little brighter out, midday even, been looking for some fish out in that basin area and finding some good clouds of young of the year minnows out there, 1, 2 inch long perch and various minnows like that. And then I'm starting to see some good sized walleyes hooked right in those bait, feeding on them. And the best way to target that is just going through there with a small number 5 crankbait, set that so it's cruising right where those bait balls are, and troll around right through those waypoints on your locator. So I just kind of mark the bait balls along with some decent fish, and once you think you've found a good concentration of both of those, just get the rods out and start trolling, weaving back through those waypoints, and you get some pretty good action out here. And then of course then right at dark, drop the Lindies along the weed line, and the 1-2 punch there has been turning out some good fish for this week.
Thanks, Joe. Now for our last report, we're gonna head over to Michigan, where Captain Ben Wolf has been keeping tabs on the salmon and lake trout bite.
You know, the beginning to July was really hot and humid. We had a lot of really hot days, and that really kind of slowed down the salmon fishing on the west side of the state. You know, now that we have a week of colder weather, we had a really nice north wind blow, and that's starting to bring some of those salmon back in closer to shore where anglers can take advantage of them. The lake trout vertical jigging bite is incredible right now. Absolutely big fish, as well as lots of numbers. Get out, drop some 1 to 3 ounce jigs for these aggressive bites, and you'll have a ball. Get out, have fun, and if you're looking for a captain or guide in the state of Michigan, give Sportfish Michigan a call or check us out on the web, sportfishmichigan.com.
Sportsmen, we're truck people, we're gear people, we're Radco people. Top brands like Lear, Access, WeatherTech, Kurt, and more. Price match guarantee. Exceptional service. Professional installation. Researched, tested, approved. Radco. When your truck looks good, you look good.
Looking for the perfect fishing vacation? Leech Lake, Minnesota. There's over 112,000 acres of water to explore with fantastic walleye, bass, pike, panfish, and trophy muskies. The fishing opportunities are endless. Leech Lake has it all with over 30 resorts, lodges, campgrounds, and hotels line its pristine shores. Plan your trip. It's Minnesota's original up-north vacation destination.
When you're paid to put fish in the boat, you don't mess around with the thing that puts fish in the boat. Always use the best line.
Having spent a lifetime fishing all over North America, I know a lot about water, wind, and waves. Water can be an inviting place, and yet at the same time, it can also be very unforgiving. With a simple push of a button, this fully adjustable Smooth Moves air suspension is designed to tame the waves and give you a smooth and comfortable ride no matter what conditions you face. Tame the water, wind, and waves with Smooth Moves.
And now it's time for our cool products brought to you by Fleet Farm. Let's start over here with the Yeti Hopper 20. There's a lot of different Yetis available at Fleet Farm. This is a soft-sided one. You have tie-downs there, easy carry handles. The bigger ones are good for fish fillet. This is good for drinks and food, the Yeti Hopper. And up front here from Aquaview, this is a wireless trailer hitch camera system. This just plugs into your dash there in your 12-volt. You can see what's happening in the camera. The little magnet on here, just stick this in the trailer hitch. It's a pretty awesome system, the eyeball from Aquaview. And up front, from VMC, this is Spin Shot. This is great for both bass and walleye fishing. You know, walleye fishing if you're fishing vertically. Zero line twist with a little unique swivel system on here from VMC, the Spin Shot. Colors have really come on strong. You know, in recent years, some really wild colors. Definitely Bagley has some. This is the balsa diving stick right here. There's some pretty awesome little colors right here. Look at that right here. And then also like the small fry crayfish. And when you are talking about trolling, deep offshore planer boards like this side planer are definitely needed. You know, this is a left model, this is a right model. They also have smaller models and bigger models for trolling great baits. You know, depending on your spread, you definitely want a couple of these. From Offshore Tackle, the side planer boards. And from Clam, this is a new Tungsten Jig, non-toxic, smaller in size when compared to weight of lead. You know, some nice colors. From Clam, this is great for walleye fishing, bass fishing. Look at this brass color, that's pretty wild right there. The Tungsten TG from Clam. And from Northland Tackle, a tried and tested jig, the Weed Weasel. This is good if you're throwing live bait. It has a plastic little weed guard on there, fishing around brush and weeds. It's really great, the Weed Weasel from Northland Tackle. And recent advancements in electronics are pretty incredible. You can get them all from the Humminbird Helix series. This happens to be the Helix 9 Chirp. Down imaging with GPS here. This one has iPilot, Link 360 imaging, just a great line from Humminbird. And a great affordable rod for bass fishing from St. Croix. This is the Bass X bait caster right here. This happens to be a 6-foot, 8-inch model paired up with the Daiwa Fuego. You can fish a lot of different presentations with this. You get the St. Croix quality at an affordable price with the Bass X and pair it with this Fuego reel from Daiwa and you got a winning combo. All these products are available at your local Fleet Farm store as well as online at fleetfarm.com. Now, before our technique of the week, we have one more thing for you. You know, you spend a lot on your electronics. When you have units like this Helix 10 here, you want to protect it, especially in big waves with a strong mount. This is from Balls Out. These are extremely strong mounting systems for both the console and your bow. Different configurations, different sizes. Definitely want that to protect your investment.
Hi, my name is Jeff Gustafson and I travel all over North America fishing in bass tournaments. A lot of professional anglers use an AquaView underwater camera for their tournament pre-fishing, mostly to identify fish species, but we also use it for several other applications, and we're gonna go look at how we use it. We're out here looking for bass today. I just got home back up north from fishing the FLW Tour event at Kentucky Lake, and I had a good tournament, finished in the top 10, and we used to mark fish out there, and you could just about guarantee they were bass, but the lake is absolutely infested with Asian carp now, and so you mark a lot of fish. A lot of them look like bass, but you waste a lot of time trying to fish and catch them. Now I can turn around, go drop the AquaView down on these ledges where I'm marking a lot of fish, and I know immediately whether they're bass or carp. As somebody that likes to fish offshore, fish deeper water, I'd spend a lot of time idling around like this, using my GPS and using my sonar to find both cover, like some of the standing timber here, and just simply find fish. So when we go looking around like this and we find something that we like here's a little bit of timber right there, I can go put the cursor on that, drop a waypoint, and turn the boat around and go examine that little tree. It looks like there's a couple fish mixed into it. Go look at that with the camera, and I can tell whether it's bass or a different species that we don't want to catch. In many of the lakes and reservoirs we fish, there are tons of alternate species. An underwater camera not only lets me find my target species, which is bass, and most importantly, I can do it without catching them. I have to catch them on tournament days, not during practice. An AquaView is a great tool to examine isolated brush piles, deep trees, and any underwater structure where I'm seeing lots of fish on the depth finder, especially in southern reservoirs where we have a lot of alternate species that can trick us. I also use an underwater camera around home on Canadian lakes and throughout the Great Lakes to find schools of smallmouth bass in deep water on rock humps and largemouth bass on deep weed edges. I also use an AquaView for some shallow water situations like examining docks with the pole cam attachment. I don't need to catch them in practice, I need to catch them in the tournament, and that's exactly why I use an AquaView underwater camera.
It really is incredible when you use those underwater cameras, what you see down there. It gives you an absolute clear picture of what you see on your graph. And right now we're heading over to Mills Fleet Farm with Nick Lindner for this year's contest winner.
Thanks, Troy. And now we're here at our local Mills Fleet Farm store with store manager Cody Haynes. And right there in that envelope, Cody has this year's sweepstakes winner. Now without further ado, who won it?
This year's winner is Edward Jacobs of Houston, Minnesota.
Well, congratulations, Edward. And I want to thank everybody who entered this year's sweepstakes and everybody who followed along this year on AnglingBuzz.
Hey, congratulations on winning. It's going to be an awesome trip up to Leech Lake. Lots of big fish up there. And thank you for joining us this season on AnglingBuzz TV. You can always follow us online at AnglingBuzz.com, as well as our socials, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for watching this season. I'm Troy Lindner.
This week's Buzz Bite Report.
Tony Roach. Ray Brostow.
Lee Talkin here.
Bass like this.
A lot of wallies like that.
Giant bluegills.
Good luck, everybody.
Have fun. We'll see you next week.